Midday, and school is done for these high school students. Against the directives of Victoria's Department of Education, they're walking out and heading to a school strike for Palestine.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Hundreds of students from high schools across Melbourne decided to break the rules and leave school to attend a protest against Israel's actions in the war in Gaza.
They're not really teaching it in class, so the only way you're going to find out is if you come to the rallies, educate yourself, because you're not learning any of it at school. It's not even getting mentioned at school.
Do you think you're old enough to understand this issue?
I do. If kids in Gaza are old enough to get bombed, then I'm old enough to understand what's really happening.
Sometimes defying what others tell us is the right or wrong thing can lead to good outcomes, and in this case it has led to a lot of people coming out today and protesting the mass injustice that these people are facing.
Victorian Premier Jacinta Allen had advised students not to attend, saying the Gaza war was better discussed with parents or teachers.
Palestine will be free!
Members of the Jewish community expressed concern the rally will heighten conflict in the community. This week, a letter with more than 6,000 signatures was delivered to the Premier, asking that she state clearly the protest was unacceptable.
You can't get a grasp of what is going on between Israel and Hamas from slogans and signs and placards. Our biggest concern is that these incidents are now going to play out in the schoolyard. We don't know how they're going to be resolved. I don't know how teachers and schools are going to manage this, but we're really worried about, the psychological and physical safety of Jewish students on Friday.
Hi, come in.
But the organizers of this protest say it's not about hate. It's about stopping the war in Gaza.
I think a walkout is such a great way to bring disruption and to bring attention to the issue. So I think that's why it's important.
It's been very eye-opening for lots of students like us. Walking out of school is a great way to show solidarity with Palestinians. It's not a war if it's entirely one-sided. Israel has control over their food supply, their water supply, and their electricity. It's not a war. They are killing civilians.
Both Audra, 17, and Ava, 16, rely on social media and reports from journalists in Gaza for information.
People are losing their lives, people are being killed.
We are seeing it happen in real time through social media. We are seeing videos of Palestinian kids having to, live through bombings. The way we are seeing them losing their schools, we're seeing them losing their hospitals, mosques. It's just it's horrific stuff.
Early on in this, there were lots of videos of the October 7th attacks and Hamas fighters. What did you make of those videos?
I think just the mainstream media focusing on Hamas is just completely taking away from what's actually going on.
What has happened, happened on October 7th, didn't start there.
No.
It 100% didn't. It's been going on for years and years and years. And the way that Israel have retaliated with this, what they're calling a war, has been killing thousands of civilians.
Pro-Palestinian rallies have been going on for weeks across the country. Organizers call this a movement, and it's dominated by young people. Communications specialist Jacob Arnott runs a social media-first ad agency. He says the online streams of young people are being filled with content from Gaza.
What we're seeing at the moment is a lot of that footage around, where previously you might consume a news story from a news platform, you're able to see the raw, uncut iPhone footage from somebody having that lived experience on the front line in the Middle East. And that's a really significant shift.
Arnott says young people are turning to social media to learn about the war because it's perceived as more authentic.
That kind of raw, uncut nature of it is, very much appealing to an audience to understand and try to comprehend and start to think about what's happening and what the implications of that might be.
On the TikTok platform, pro-Palestinian posts dwarf pro-Israel content. Ramona Craypot noticed the discrepancy soon after the October 7th Hamas attacks.
Abigail Idan, aged 3. I decided that I wanted to balance it out. I want to have a voice out there that shows the Jewish perspective, the Israel perspective, and what we can do to call for peace.
I'm sure you've heard of this phrase before, but what does it actually mean?
So I'm making videos on a daily basis. I try to post 2 to 3 videos a day, and I'm posting them on Instagram and TikTok specifically to the younger audience because I want them to see another perspective that isn't what's just shown majority of the time on TikTok and Instagram.
Her follower count has steadily grown, and she does receive lots of appreciation and also hate.
So someone needs to finish off what Hitler started. You don't deserve to be alive. Listen to yourself lying. A killed Jew is a Jew I can get along with.
How do you react when you see those terrible messages?
I'm not going to cower away just because people want me to. I am a strong and proud Jew, and there are many strong Jews out there and people who support us and will stand with us together.
We want to see a free Palestine!
And as for these high schoolers, they don't believe this protest threatens anyone.
I don't think it's going to increase tension. We're doing it peacefully, it's not violent. It's fine when other people rally for things that they believe in, and if they're going to do it peacefully, we can do it the same.
Free, free Palestine!
They may be young, but these protesters say they've made up their own minds about what's happening in Gaza.